Hi everyone, it's Paola. Welcome back to my art and design channel. I tell you every time to subscribe and ring the bell and follow me on Instagram. So do all those things so we can have fun. So I'm excited about today's video because I just want to give you all the ideas. So we have 10 really strong ideas for your next passion project, portfolio project, anything you need if you just need ideas. And my whole channel is basically about that. Whenever I do projects, hopefully it gives you some inspiration, but these are specific ideas for your portfolio. In case you need them, let's get into it. Okay, so my first idea is actually more of a portfolio presentation idea, but making a magazine. Now, this magazine can be on any topic you like, or it can be a magazine of another project you've done. So say I wanted to create a magazine out of that coffee shop brand I did. It could be really cool to lay out all the imagery and what I've done in different ways in an editorial layout. And that can really help you practice your skills in layout design and all of that, working with grids. So if that's something that you want to work on, I definitely recommend doing this type of project. Use something you already have or create it on a topic. And you can also just print it for real or use mockups and create that whole aesthetic and look. And I think there's no wrong ways to do it. You can do this and just make it a really cool project for yourself and for your portfolio, showcasing that you can do lots of different types of things. I thought that was a fun one, so roll with it as you want. My next project idea is a challenge to you to create a poster using a physical object as a design element. I have seen this done so many cool ways online. I have seen a raw cookie dough type of look where it was letters cut out of that, and that could be something cooking or baking related. I have seen type made out of ice used on a poster. I specifically did a shoot up bubblegum type, which I could use in a poster design myself, but it doesn't have to be typography related as well. If you want to do just any design element, like even embroidery thread going all over the place, or use an image that you took, there's lots of different ways you can do this, but I really like kind of incorporating a physical object into the design itself. So that usually is type, but try to push yourself, see what you can do. Okay. Idea number 3, a sunglasses brand. I thought of this one because I personally haven't done it yet, and when I'm always thinking of new ideas, I just always think that this is a fun one to do because there's so much you can do with it. You can create the campaign, the marketing, the imagery, and really create a visual narrative for this brand. And I think it can go so many different directions. That's what's cool about sunglasses is you can really lean into a style. And it can be your style or it can be completely opposite of your style. There's lots of mock-ups you can use with this. I just think it's a really fun branding project, and it can kind of just elevate your portfolio if you don't have something even fashion related. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be even fashion-y in this idea. I saw this project for a sunglasses brand online on Behance, and I loved it. I love this project. I think it's such a cool style, and they really chose a specific look to go with. And I really think it looks so particular, and there are so many other ways that it can look this particular. I've seen other sunglasses brands on Behance and they've looked completely opposite. So it's a really fun prompt to just get your creativeness going. And I want to help you out because this is a mock-up project. So if you can't think of a name for the brand, I have picked a couple. So I came up with these for you: Effects, Gaze, and Optimum, Optimum Eyewear. I don't know. There's lots of ways you can play with these, but I thought these 3 were really good names to just start you off. If you need the prompt, get going and make that fun mock-up passion project. Okay, for the next project, it is definitely less digital, more physical if you're looking for a more artsy type of project to do. And that is a sewn book. So this book could be anything you want in the content. I think it would be really fun to do your own collage or a flip book, or just images that you've taken if you like photography, or even type letters if you like to draw letters. There's lots of different little ideas you can do because this doesn't necessarily have to be a big book. It could be really small too. There's so many different things. But basically the main focus is bookbinding. So you're sewing a book, you're gluing a book together, and you're doing a bookbinding technique. There's so many different ones out there online. I love bookbinding. I used to do it so much when I was in school, and I haven't done it in such a long time, and I miss it because it's such a cool aspect of art and design and just really showcases your work in a cool way because you've created the book itself as well. My 5th idea is making a campaign for an established brand, a brand that already exists. So what I'm thinking with this is more a fashion brand, just because there's so much opportunity there to do a lot. But if you're not into fashion, that's totally fine. You can do just any type of brand. But my thought process was because there are so many like collaborations with brands, like Adidas working with a different brand, or like a high-end brand like Loewe or something working with like the Studio Ghibli. There's so many opportunities and layers there. And I think what you could do is even come up with your own, like what two brands would you want to see to come together, or, you know, like movies or something, like what two things do you want to see come together and create a campaign for that. Or even if you're just interested in a product with like a high-end brand and that's what you want to work toward, why don't you make a campaign for that brand and for that product? Like, what would you do if you could imagine it? I love this idea. I think there's just so much opportunity for creativity, and I love the examples I have found online, and that's why I was inspired by it, just because I have found so many cool projects of people doing this with an established brand, and like, what could I do if I was the creative director for this company, like for Hermes Beauty? Like, I don't know. It's just so cool to think about, and I think it's a really cool project. It's definitely an involved project. It's a bigger one, but when I'm ready and I have the time, I think I'll take something like this on too, because it's such a good one. Okay, maybe my ideas have been a little fashion focused, so if you're not wanting to do that and you still want to do a really cool branding project, try a candle brand. A candle brand is a great branding prompt because there is not only the logo and the vision and the ads and the imagery, but there's also packaging. You can do so much with packaging and mock-ups, and I just think it's a great project if you're wanting to build that into your portfolio. Like, you need something like that. It's a great one, especially because you can just have so much fun and personality with it, and there's so many different directions to take it. I keep saying this, but it's like, I get so excited at the prospect of like a cool brand. And I have come up with more name ideas for this mock-up project. If you want to do this as a passion project, you don't know where to start, I've come up with a couple candle brand names. So Flare, Homebodies, Lantern. So I really like that. I really like the idea of like homebodies as a concept. And I'm sure there's lots of brands that probably are named this for real. Like, I don't know. It's probably, I think I saw like Homebody was one, but yeah, I don't know. It's a mock-up project. It's a passion project. It's just for your portfolio. I'm sure there's brands out there that exist, but don't worry about that. This is just for you and your work. My next idea is a mock-up project for a museum. So this is definitely way different than those other projects, branding projects. This would be definitely more community-based. I mean, museums are usually not-for-profit, or they can be, or government funded, and it's just a really cool project to dip your toes into. There are so many different types of museums out there. You can pick any type of work, and there's so many different logos out there that I've seen that I'm inspired by in museums, and how they look and just how they work, creating programs, posters, like billboards. I just love all of that, like banners on the side of the museum. There's lots of mock-ups out there for that, and I just think this would be a really cool project to kind of get into that whole like community work and event working. Alternatively, if you're not so keen on museums, you can also do like a library, or even for your local library, just a mock-up project. I love this idea, and just making this type of work for something within your community or your town. So I came up with some museum mock-up names if you're a little lost with this one. The City Museum, it can be very vague, just get into it. Contemporary Arts, pick a city, like Contemporary Arts Madrid. That could be a cool museum just to come up with a logo. And also very vague, but National Gallery. If those are ones that you want to work with, go for it. Take these ideas. Okay, my next one is a book cover design, guys. I love it. I love book cover designs, but I've recently found a TikTok account that I'm obsessed with. And honestly, he has a lot of prompts on his account. If you're getting into book design, you want to do this, it's a great account to go to. But basically, he designs book covers on his TikTok, and his work is amazing, but it really just shows how important it is to think like a designer and use those skills more than actually using like programs and tools super easy and super fast. I think it's like, you really need to focus on how you work as a designer, and I think that shows in his videos. So it can really help you if you're wanting to like approach prompts in a different way and be like, okay, how can I put things together? How can I do layout work? How can I do cover work? How can I make things visually appealing? There's just so much into that, and I think it's a great account. So his account it's called @ez.bookdesign on TikTok. I love it, and he's got more prompts on there if you want to do more book cover design. Okay, my next idea for you is making collage. But my specific prompt for you is actually using images that you have. If you have pictures around your town, or if you have pictures of a town you visited, you probably take more photos when you're a tourist somewhere. But if you have no pictures, go out in your town and take them, and then create a little mini like travel guide. And this can be in booklet form, or this could be like in website form. The reason I'm saying this is because I saw a website, like it was UI design, and it was for Rome. I mean, that's a great place to pick, but I love the idea of using your own images and just really pushing yourself to make a cool project about where you live or a place you love, and just make a little guide about it. And I just love this idea, and there's so many ways to do it, because you don't have to just do a booklet or a magazine, or I don't know, you can do a website, you can do a lot of different things. And the last idea, last but not least, but make a social media presence for a brand. If this is something that you want to practice or put into your portfolio as a mock-up project, this is a great thing to do. Just create templates and posts and create and curate and direct the social media presence for an existing brand. So any brand you like, it could be anything, any theme, and just really roll with like the visual narrative that you want to see a brand doing. It could be just like improving a brand that you already think is good, but making it in your style, or making it just pop a little bit more. Or it could be something like a brand that you think is doing terrible for their stuff, and you're like, well, what the heck are they doing? Let's redesign this and make it amazing. But I think that would be really cool. Definitely practicing social media design and curation and all of that can really help your marketing skills and just make you a really hireable person if this is in your portfolio. Like, look what I can do for your brand. I love this idea. And I don't know, I've just been really into social media design lately, and I think it is a really strong skill to have. Okay, everyone, that was what I have for you today. I hope these ideas helped you or gave you an idea, got you started in creating something amazing for your portfolio, or just because you want to practice, or anything you want to do in your art work. If you liked this video, please give it a like. It really helps my channel when you guys interact, because YouTube does not like me and it never shows me to people, and I don't know what's going on. So please comment and like this video, and we can chat a little bit more about some more ideas. What kind of ideas do you have for your portfolio? Give some people ideas in the comments. Love this idea that we can just chat and help each other out in this community. So yeah, I'll see you in the comments. Okay, bye.